Hello everybody, this is Game Boy Alex and welcome to another beginning of another video. Today I am playing Monster Inside, an audio-visual novella by Random Seed Games. With that being said, let's start it off. The Monster Inside, an audio-visual novella by Random Seed Games. My head pounded, ears still ringing slightly. Some of the worst nightmares I'd had in years left me feeling like I'd been punched in the jaw. But just like any other day, I dragged myself to the office. Hello, office. How are you today? There was another notice on the door from Mayor Vanetti's office. Permits out of date. They didn't like me much and were trying to drown me in paperwork. It was a slow month, weeks since I'd had any real case to work on, so I passed the time pacing the office, smoking and staring at the mirror in the corner, safely covered with an old bed sheet. So I'm gonna guess it's that right there. Since I mean it is the only thing covered with a bed sheet, it looks like. I don't dare look at my own reflection. I'm too afraid of what I might see. Afraid someday I might have to face what I really am. The girl came in so quiet, I nearly choked on my cigarette. Mister, please, you gotta help me, mister. Calm down now. Sit. Talk slow. Yeah? What can I help you with? You ever hear knocking first? Okay. Thanks. It's just no one will listen to me. Just tell me your tale. I'm listening. She eyed me with just a dash of suspicion as I tossed back a handful of pills and chased them with a swig of whiskey. I could tell this might take a while. Well, that was a good sentence. As I tossed back a handful of pills and chased them with a swig of whiskey. I like that. That sounds good. Like, I'm not saying like I drink or anything, but it's a nice sentence. It's nice to say. Her name was Lily. She told me she was his mistress, the man all over the newspapers, the infamous banker, Mr. Reginald Farnsworth. Mr. Farnsworth was a drunk, philandering bastard. This girl seemed genuinely concerned that he had recently gone missing. Less concerned about the fact that Mr. Farnsworth's wife had just turned up dead in Central Park 2 nights ago. You don't understand. He just couldn't have done it. He hated his wife, but he couldn't have killed her. Everyone thinks it was him and no one believes me. He's gotta be in trouble. I ain't saying I believe you, but what makes you think he's in danger? The case looks pretty simple to me. Well, Mr. Jack. You can just call me Jack. Okay, Jack. Jack. Okay, Jack. Whoever did that to his wife must have been the one who took him. He would have never left without me. Promise me. I'm sure Mr. Farnsworth promised this poor girl a lot of things. Please, the cops won't listen to me and they want to bring him in on charges. You gotta prove it wasn't him before they find him. Honestly, I doubt they are in too much of a hurry. Farnsworth had practically the entire police force in his deep pockets, probably why they hadn't found much yet. If they find him and brought him in, it would be due to public pressure. Sometimes a mob with pitchforks is more dangerous than one man with money. You've got my curiosity, but you might not like what I find. I can help you. We'll get to the bottom of it. Don't you worry now. Oh, thank you, Mr. Jack. Thank you. But please, be careful. I don't think this was just any murderer or kidnapper. I think it was a beast. Beast. The word struck me funny, like when you jar your elbow on a hard corner. Not a word many use these days, except in hush whispers and bedtime stories for children. Oh, they were real enough, alright. They just got better at hiding, controlling their unseemly urges. I hadn't seen any monsters in nearly 15 years, back when I was still caught myself. Okay, so he must be like a private investigator, I'm gonna guess. Well, that's definitely an interesting theory. I can help you. We'll get to the bottom of it, don't you worry now. Leave the detective work to me. Let's not jump to conclusions here. I just have a feeling about it. Something tells me you can get to the bottom of it. You're good at this sort of thing. Sure, Can't you see how busy I am with cases? Okay, I think he's trying to be sarcastic here. I replied a little too harshly. Sarcasm was my strong suit. I was. Maybe it's from personal experience, because I am very bad with sarcasm as well. I reassured her some more and sent her on her way. I didn't want to scare her. Oh, I thought I was going to say scare her. I'm like, what? To scare her. But I warned her before she left to keep her doors locked and call me if she saw anything suspicious. I didn't know if she was in any danger herself, but better safe than sorry. That night, I made my way down to Central Park. It was a long shot, but maybe there was something there the cops had missed. Oh wow, I like how the music quiets to like just silence. That's pretty neat. Okay, next chapter. Ooh, and then it starts up. I like that. The scene was already picked clean by the cops days ago. I've got a knack for finding the things others overlook. Ooh, I like that. I like the noir style. A knack, more of a symptom of a condition. Other, less useful symptoms I kept in check. But for the time being, my keen sense of smell would come in handy. Your sense of smell, that's an interesting character, like, attribute, I guess. I think that's what it is, an attribute. His keen sense of smell, out of all things. It was faint. I could smell it before I even approached the police line. Scent was less of a thing and more of an emotion. Okay, that's interesting. Seduction. Okay, I did not think the emotion was going to be seduction. A strangely familiar smell. Oh yeah, because you know what that's like? Weirdo. I expected the scent of trepidation, or maybe even outright fear. But Mrs. Farnsworth seemed to have been at the height of pleasure when she left this world. Oh my god. Okay. Brought new meaning to a crime of passion. Pushing the thought from my mind, it was time to get down to business. Investigate the scene. Okay. Okay, so there's that, and there's that. Okay. Muddy footprints everywhere. Difficult to pick out anything from the prints the cops left behind in their haste. But cops don't wear $2,000 pairs of carquinos. Carquinos? It looked like Mr. Farnsworth was there that night and walked away on his own 2 feet. Investigate the scene. A burn mark on a nearby tree caught my eye. I ran my finger along its length and felt a chill down my spine. Ah, that rhymed. Hey, that rhymed. This wasn't just any burn mark. This was the mark of an ancient magic. It's doubtful the cops could have picked up on it. Could Lily have been right? Something unnatural was at play here? But I was no stranger to the strange. After looking around for a while longer, I realized the park had given up all it was hiding from me. So I trudged back to my apartment, and my head hit my pillow like it owed me money. Oh wow, that's a good simile. Okay, next chapter. The next morning, I was reeling from another bout of ghoulish nightmares. I tried to hide my discomfort when I saw Lily was already sitting outside my office. She waited wordlessly as I unlocked the door and ripped down another notice from the mayor's office. Motioned for her to step inside. Seemingly afraid of what I might say, she finally worked up courage to ask. So, what did you find? Well, I've got some good news. Farnsworth might still be alive. Not sure about beasts, but something unnatural was at play. I'd be right to worry about monsters. Find a spell's mark. Or found a spell's mark. Unnatural? How do you mean? Spell's mark? Rarely seen these days, but unmistakable. I can't give you details, but I'm looking into it. What does that mean? What about Reggie? Do you know where he might be? On his footprints, seems like he got out safely. There were signs he was at the scene and slipped away. My tone was indifferent towards her as I turned and grabbed a bottle from my desk drawer. A dryness in my throat made it difficult to swallow my meds. But you don't know where he went? Do you think the news this morning is related? What news is that? Haven't you heard? Nope. I mean, obviously no. Rough night followed by a rough morning. They found the police chief's wife dead by the docks. They say it happened last night. Let me guess. Chief Amato is missing too? My face might have betrayed a hint of satisfaction as she confirmed my suspicions, but it faded quickly. Amato was a shit cop and a shit chef. Or shit chief. I bet, not chef. It was half the reason I left the force, but now his wife was dead and I had more questions than I did the day before. The gears in my head started to spin, which wasn't helped by the splitting pain at my temples. I told Lily I needed time to work. She left slightly dejected, wanting more answers than I could provide. That night, after the cops had cleared out the docks, I would slip down and see what I would uncover concerning Mrs. Amato's untimely demise. Oh, I like how the music just silences before the next chapter, and then it pops right back up into the next. I like it. The cold air smelled strongly of salt and oil, and could it be? That smell again, like someone had bottled pure arousal and used it as perfume. Wow, that's a pretty interesting element into the story, like the arousal and like that's just so weird. But I mean, it makes the story unique, and him being able to smell it. It hit me like a long forgotten memory, but the central fumes soon gave way to a rush of adrenaline. I knew exactly what the scents reminded me of, and that scared me more than not knowing. I looked down at my hands, shaking. The nightmares, the headaches. No, I was better now, reformed. So are you this? Could you possibly be like the monster? Well, I mean, the title is The Monster Inside. So maybe he is. I had to focus. No jumping to conclusions. Follow the evidence. Okay. Red Phoenix cigarettes. Same shitty brand I smoke every day. Everyone's got their vice. I was like, so... even smokes the same cigarettes that are at the scene. What? So, there. Just there. A small piece of purple fabric. Torn and caught in the splinter of a board. Okay. Police report didn't say anything about Mrs. Amato wearing purple. It was certainly of a quality that you wouldn't expect down here. Don't see too many high society types around flaunting royal purple threads. I pulled out my own pack of reds and lit up. I could already feel another headache coming on. Looking out over the waves seemed to help me forget. The cold helped me push down the uncomfortable thoughts that had been bubbling to the top of my brain. I honestly don't remember the walk back to the office. Apparently, I spent the night in my easy chair. The air from the docks lingered on my clothes. How come he's always like knocked out or something? Or like he doesn't remember the night? It's very weird. Like the cigarettes and him being able to smell the arousal each time, which gives him like a faint memory. And then him being like not remembering each night what happens, and then like somebody died those nights that he like, I don't know, like passed out or something, and then he woke up and his head was all messed up. Like this is all going into like supporting a theory that he is a monster, or like he's doing these things. It was still dark out. No, I checked the clock. How long had I been out? And I really slept through the entire next day. The newspaper was sitting under the door. As I stood to fetch it, I nearly fell over. A wave of nausea hit me like a ton of bricks. I steadied myself and regained my composure. Before I even picked up the paper, I could already read the headline. Breaking. Mayor missing. Wife found dead. 2 cases is a coincidence. 3 is a pattern. The cops would come asking questions soon. They knew I had a history of antagonizing all the victims. I stumbled to my desk and slammed back 3 days' worth of inhibitor pills. I couldn't take any chances. I had to investigate the scene to be sure. threw on my jacket and went to the door. Lily caught me off guard on the other side. Jack, where are you off to? I've been trying to reach you all day. I'm sorry, Lily. I don't have time to talk. I have to go. I've just been busy. I'm off to Mrs. Finetti's crime scene. Okay, but we need to talk when you get back. Stay safe. She gave me a soft kiss on the cheek as I rushed off. Part of me wanted to stay and tell her it would be okay. It would be a lie. I was like, how come she's only known him for like 2 to 3 days? How come she gives him a kiss on the cheek? That's a little intimate for an acquaintance, I guess. Oh, I like that. Boom, boom. Oh, and in the alley it looks like. Yeah, the alley. Dang, this is good music for alley. Like a black and white alley with a car in it and a crime scene. I like it. The alley was located just behind the high-rise apartments where Mayor Vanetti and his wife lived. I could tell the police were spooked now. The crime scene was even sloppier than the last. They hadn't even bothered to submit the trash into evidence. So I'm gonna guess there's something in the trash. Why wouldn't they at least look through the dumpster? It seemed untouched. No one wants to do the dirty work. But I know how to find the good stuff. It really doesn't take long if you know what to look for. Lightweight bags usually mean someone was dumping documents. If you were lucky, they didn't bother to shred them. Jackpot. Shell companies. Shady stock trades. Bribes. I knew Mayor Vanetti was crooked. This was unbelievable. Okay, so he was antagonizing them because he knew they were crooked. Okay. And there was more. Letters between Mayor Vanetti and Chief Amato, talking about me. How they were trying to get me shut down. They didn't like me snooping around crime scenes all the time. Well, they weren't here to stop me snooping around this one. Since he's a private investigator, I think that's his profession now that he's not a cop anymore. Investigate the crime scene. Okay. Vanetti's car. If he's still alive, why wouldn't he have left in his car? It didn't make any sense. Honestly, wasn't too motivated to find him. The stakes were too high, and my bet was edging towards the unthinkable. As I searched around for anything that might assuage my fears, I caught the scent again. It overwhelmed my other senses with undulating pleasure. It was intoxicating. A weapon used on the weak-willed, a weapon I knew all too well, though it had been many years since I had used it. Was there another like me? Was I being framed? It wasn't possible, was it? I was taking my inhibitors. I was reformed. So he is like a monster, and so the pills he's taking keeps him from being a monster, at least that we know of. But the nightmares, the headaches, the memory lapses. Okay, so I couldn't even trust myself. Okay, so now he's placing himself as a suspect. I started walking back out the alley when something shiny caught my eye. A watch. Not just any watch, though. My watch. How long had my wrist been bare? Surely I just dropped it when I first came down the alley. Checked the time just before I left the office, hadn't I? Or had I used the wall clock? I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be sure of anything. So I ran. Wow, okay, so lots like coming to light now. I don't know why I ran back to the office. The cops would probably show up any minute to knock the door down and cart me away. They would put it together before long. Maybe it would be best for everyone if I simply faced my own reflection. Lily was still there waiting for me. Jack, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. My own ghost. Come back to haunt me from the past. You're not making any sense, Jack. Come, sit down. You understand. You're not safe around me. So he is like a monster. Oh, okay, okay. Well, I mean, I already know that. This is just all like evidence in my mind, like showing me that he is, like, I'm right. I took a good last look at her as I prepared to shove her out the door. I noticed she was wearing the same thing she had when she first came to the office 3 days ago. A beautiful purple dress, like the fabric at the crime scene. Odd that I hadn't really noticed before, but it made her seem out of place, out of time. And it was frayed around the edges, torn in places. My chair got my fall as my knees failed me. So she was at the crime scene. It was you. You are the monster. Succubus. I was like, what's succubus? Oh, Jack. We are one and the same, you and I. We are both monsters. I'm something more honest with myself. There's no such thing as reformation. Those pills you take only make you dull. Beasts like us should never suppress our true natures as you have, Incubus. Okay, so her real name's Succubus, and his real name's Incubus. Hey, I'm guessing. Those men were probably dead too now, I figured. She probably took them to her lair, and harvested their seed. Okay, that sentence is disgusting. So, you've done all this just to wake me up? You could say that, though it seemed enough just to have you doubt yourself. You believed you were still capable of such horrors, which means deep down, you probably are. You can't escape it. Now I need you to complete the deed. You took my watch, messed with my head. Oh, don't act like I didn't do you a favor. Those men hated you, and you wanted you gone, and now they are gone. I mustered the strength to stand again, moving casually to the window by the corner. What window? There's no window, unless it's on one of these walls that are invisible now. She was right about one thing. I was dull, weak, compared to her. If I refused her and she attacked me, I was a dead man. I had to keep her talking. I've never met a succubus who just seduces and kills women. Oh, please. Such a 14th century stereotype. I don't discriminate when it comes to pleasures of the flesh. Okay, so these are just titles of, like, a monster? They're not their actual names, they're just like a title of a monster. But I do still need an incubus like yourself to take the tainted seed I've harvested from those awful men and plant it among the fertile masses for me. Okay, that's disgusting. I'm tired of draining my lovers just to survive. I'm ready to settle down and start a family. Ha 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 ha. Wasn't that just the best evil laugh that you've ever heard? That maniacal laughter. I positioned myself carefully, making sure she was looking my direction. Sorry, I'm not your guy. With a quick flick of my wrist, I whipped the old bedsheet off of the corner mirror. Lily was blinded by her own reflection, and sucked into the mirror with a painful, monstrous scream. Trapped. Shielding my own eyes, I pulled a revolver from my desk side drawer, aimed it at the mirror, and fired. Oh, well, that was cool. Okay. That was really cool. That was it. Wow. That was a good story. That was a really good story. I like the similes and all the metaphors. Here are some more of their games. Now I need to find out what is an incubus and a succubus. What are those monsters? I mean, obviously they have to deal with something about pleasure and men and women, giving them pleasure and harvesting their seed, but what exactly is it? So I'm gonna look that up. But that was a good game. The story was real interesting. Now I love story-based games. I'm a story kind of guy. So I mean, I'm glad that it's a free game. It's a free game on Steam. I'm glad I played it. So now let me go look up what incubus and succubus are exactly. Okay, so an incubus is a male demon believed to have sexual intercourse with sleeping women. Okay, and then they kill them, I'm gonna guess? Since the story, each one died. Or each victim died. And then a succubus is a female demon believed to have sexual intercourse with sleeping men. So that's their complete definition. Wow. Well, with finding that and that being said, this was a great game. I mean, I love story-based games. They're very interesting, especially like this one. It's an interesting story, and you just kind of want to get down to the mystery. And I love the style, the noir style, the music, the black and white. That was really good. And so, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. This is the end. I will see you all in another beginning.